Rolling green hills stretch under a bright sky, a peaceful village nestled in the valley below. Upon a hilltop, the shepherd boy watches his grazing sheep, a sense of boredom clouding his youthful face. Sunlight warms the hills as the boy's restlessness grows, mirroring the endless sky above. The distant bleating of sheep can't quell the shepherd boy's yearning for something beyond the hills. A lone figure, the shepherd boy, lost in thought. Quick cuts begin, each a stark reminder of his solitary world. His face, a canvas of childhood loneliness, reflects the vast emptiness around him. He stares into the distance, a wistful expression on his face. The echoes of children's laughter taunt him from afar, sharpening the edges of his isolation. His small hands reach out, grasping at fleeting moments of joy, only to find emptiness. The sun sets on his lonely vigil, casting long shadows that mirror the depths of his solitude. Under a vast, open sky, a shepherd boy watches over his flock on the rolling green hills. His youthful face is lit with mischief. An idea begins to bloom in his eyes. He stares intently at the sheep, lost in thought as his plan takes shape. A slow, mischievous grin spreads across the shepherd boy's face, hinting at the trickery to come. The peaceful hills are about to be disrupted by the shepherd boy's playful scheme. Under the bright sun, endless green hills roll, promising peace. But a storm is coming. A lone shepherd boy breaks the silence, his small figure stark against the vast landscape. He cups his hands, his face etched with urgency, a desperate cry about to shatter the calm. "Wolf! Wolf! A wolf is coming!" His shout echoes, a plea and a warning carried by the wind. The hills await, silent witnesses as the boy's cry hangs in the air, a prelude to chaos. A peaceful village scene is suddenly disrupted as daily life grinds to a halt. The villagers' faces, etched with worry, reflect a shared sense of impending danger. An old woman clutches her rosary, her lips moving in silent prayer. Young boys exchange nervous glances, gripping makeshift weapons. Pitchforks and shovels are raised high, symbols of unity and desperate defense. The air crackles with tension as the villagers prepare to face an unseen threat. Villagers scramble up the hillside, their faces strained, a desperate ascent against the sun. Ragged breaths echo as they clutch pitchforks and shovels, makeshift weapons glinting with grim intent. Reaching the crest, they confront the shepherd boy, a silent accusation hanging in the air. Weapons rise, reflecting the harsh sunlight, a tableau of fear and fury etched against the sky. Bathed in sunlight, the shepherd boy's laughter peals across the green hills, echoing with youthful exuberance. He gestures wildly towards the villagers, his finger punctuating the air with the innocence of a prankster. The villagers gather, their expressions a mixture of bewilderment and concern. "It was just a joke," the shepherd boy cries out, his words a playful defense against their worried faces. The green hills bask under the sun, but a shadow of unease falls over the villagers. Relief fades, replaced by growing annoyance etched on their faces. Stern looks now replace smiles, their disappointment palpable. Fingers point accusingly at the boy, a mix of anger and betrayal in their eyes. The villagers' collective voice rises, a stern warning echoing, "Do not lie again." Days pass on the green hills, the shepherd boy stands, a figure of boredom against the vast, indifferent sky. He raises his hands. The silence of the hills about to be shattered by his cry. "Wolf, wolf, please help!" he shouts, his voice echoing through the serene landscape. The cry pierces the tranquil air, a false alarm in the peaceful hills. His bored eyes scan the horizon, awaiting the reaction to his staged emergency. The hills remain silent, his cry hanging in the air, unanswered and mocking. The village awakens to the boy's desperate cries, a discordant symphony against the backdrop of a peaceful day. Hesitation clouds the villagers' faces, etched with doubt as they reluctantly respond to the familiar alarm. A chorus of grumbles rises as they begin their ascent, their reluctance palpable with each step up the hill. They run, a mass of uncertain faces, united by a shared sense of duty and apprehension. The villagers trudge up the green hill, their faces a canvas of exhaustion and mounting anticipation. They scan the vast landscape, their hopes dashed as the horizon reveals no sign of the wolf. A collective anger simmers among them, their hardened expressions turning towards the shepherd boy. After a stern warning, they begin their weary walk back towards the village, their disappointment heavy. A smug grin plays on the shepherd boy's lips as he sits on the sun-drenched hill, lost in thoughts of mischief. He revels in the imagined chaos, basking in the afterglow of his prank. Unseen, the dark forest looms nearby, its shadows creeping across the once bright hills. The ominous shadows stretch, a silent warning ignored in his self-satisfied reverie. The dark forest hints at a looming threat, unseen and unfelt by the complacent shepherd boy. At the forest's edge, shadows stir, and a pair of eyes ignite with an eerie, predatory glow. A large, menacing wolf emerges, its form solidifying from the darkness. The wolf steps into the full afternoon sunlight, revealing its muscular frame. Its eyes gleam with untamed hunger, promising danger and wildness. The forest watches silently as the wolf stakes its claim on the edge of the light. On verdant hills, a wolf lurks, its gaze fixed on a flock of sheep grazing unaware in the idyllic afternoon. The wolf moves with deadly grace, its predatory intent shattering the peaceful scene. Panic erupts as the sheep scatter, their bleating cries echoing through the once quiet hills. The frantic bleating of the sheep pierces the serene afternoon, signaling imminent danger. From afar, the shepherd boy witnesses the unfolding chaos, his heart pounding with dread. Horror grips the shepherd boy as he watches helplessly. The serene hills now, a scene of terror. Under the afternoon sun, long shadows stretch across the green hills, and a lone shepherd boy stands frozen. His face contorts in raw terror, eyes wide with mounting fear, and a desperate plea rips from his throat. "Wolf! Wolf! Please help me!" he cries, his voice echoing across the vast empty hills. His cries hang in the air, unanswered, as the silence amplifies his palpable dread. In the village, life continues. Villagers dismiss the boy's cries, convinced it's another prank. Shaking heads, they resume their daily tasks, their faces etched with disapproval. The afternoon sun casts long shadows as the sounds of their work drown out the distant cries. A sense of normalcy prevails, masking the potential danger lurking in the boys' desperate call. Unbeknownst to them, their indifference seals the fate of what is to come, a tragedy unfolding. Sunlight bathes the rolling green hills as a lone wolf emerges, its shadow stretching long across the meadow. Panic erupts among the flock as the wolf accelerates, its predatory focus sending the sheep scattering in terror. A cloud of dust rises as the sheep stampede, their bleating cries echoing through the once peaceful hills. The wolf gains ground, its relentless pursuit a stark contrast to the sheep's desperate flight. Helpless, I watch as the chaos unfolds, the scene a vivid tableau of predator and prey. Under the fading light, the villagers search, their faces etched with worry as they scan the green hills for any sign of their flock. A collective gasp rises as they spot him. The shepherd boy, a figure of utter despair amidst the tranquil landscape. He is huddled among the few remaining sheep, his small frame trembling with sobs that echo through the evening air. The remaining sheep huddle close to the boy, their eyes reflecting the fading light and the palpable sense of loss. The villagers approach cautiously, their grim expressions a stark contrast to the serene beauty of the surrounding hills. As the sun sets, long shadows stretch across the green hills, painting the scene with a somber light. Before the assembled villagers, the shepherd boy stands, tears marking his face with tracks of grief and fear. His voice trembles as he recounts the day's events, each word heavy with regret and sorrow. The villagers listen, their faces reflecting a blend of pity and profound disappointment. Within the shepherd boy's heart, a vortex of images begins to churn, pulling the viewer into the depths of his torment. Fragmented visions assault the senses. A snarling wolf, a stampede of terrified sheep under a haunting moon. The cold, distrustful faces of villagers materialize, their judgment echoing through the boy's soul. Distorted and chaotic, the images reflect the profound turmoil and isolation consuming the shepherd boy. Against the dawn, a lonely shepherd boy is silhouetted atop a green hill, his small figure stark against the vast sky. Before him, the empty fields stretch out, silent witnesses to the rising sun. A heavy weight settles on his shoulders, the burden of shame and regret. The crisp morning air offers no solace as the boy stands alone with his remorse. Under the pale morning light, the shepherd boy shuffles toward the assembled villagers, his head hung low with shame. Long shadows stretch across the ground, mirroring the weight of his remorse as he approaches the crowd. He stands before them, a picture of dejection, as the villagers watch with a mix of curiosity and judgment. His voice cracks with regret as he begins to speak. I am deeply sorry for my lies. A solemn promise hangs in the air as he continues. I promise to always speak honestly from now on. The rising sun casts a hopeful glow on his face, a symbol of a new beginning. The village awakens, faces lined with suspicion and a fragile hope as they watch the boy. Lingering wariness softens as they see a flicker of sincerity in his gaze. A silent plea for redemption echoes in the air, hanging heavy with unspoken history. Hesitantly, they extend a fragile olive branch, a test of his true intentions, an opportunity to prove his worth, to mend the shattered trust, is cautiously offered. On verdant hills, a lone shepherd boy watches over his flock, the sun casting long shadows across the serene landscape. His eyes are sharp and focused, a stark contrast to his past mischievousness. Gone are the days of playful trickery, A sense of solemn responsibility shapes his youthful face. The sheep graze peacefully, unaware of the watchful guardian who ensures their safety and well-being. As the sun sets, the sky explodes with orange and purple, casting a warm glow over the green hills. The village nestled in the valley below is bathed in the fading light, a peaceful haven under the colorful sky. The shepherd boy smiles gently, his eyes mirroring the vibrant hues of the sunset above. He understands now the weight of his actions, the profound importance of truth and trust in his young heart.